Hey, how's it going? Welcome, guys, to our podcast, The Race Back Home.
The Racing Home Podcast.
The Racing Home Podcast. I'm already messing it up.
It's okay. You're not the one who named it. I was the one who
it's
named
okay.
it.
Nick named it, so I'm still kind of catching up. I thought the name was The Tow Back Home or something, but we changed
That
it.
was the second name.
Okay. Well, Racing Back Home. Welcome to Racing Back Home. So what the podcast is about, we're just two friends from college.
Yep.
We both are time attack competitors in Gridlife. And Nick, go ahead and introduce your car and yourself real quick.
Yeah, so my name is Nick Egeter. I have a 2017 Focus RS that I, for the most part, compete in street class of Gridlife's time attack series. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been doing it now for 2 years, but I would start to say the past year I've been getting more aggressive about it. Mm-hmm. But finally, in any case, for the podcast itself, actually, let me step back. So that was me. So Fez, where do you compete in?
My name is Fez Bobber, also known as a Banana Man. I compete with a brand new GR86 in Club TR. It's the yellow one that a lot of people know about, I guess.
The only
now.
yellow one.
The only yellow one in the country, I guess, competing in time attack. Club TR, it's great class, very competitive. So I wanted to prove that you don't need to just bring a Honda K24 car in the class to win. You can win with other chassis and
it's a lot more than just a Honda engine with a Toyota chassis.
Yeah,
you can actually do a Toyota chassis with an actual Toyota engine.
Not a Subaru engine, but
I'm glad you said it, not me.
Yeah, it's let's might as well just be real with it.
Fair.
So we're just showing very good promises. My car's heavy, the heaviest car in top 5, and still podiums a lot.
Man, I regret not weighing myself when I was at HMP.
We can weigh your car at my house.
We should definitely do that, because when I did weigh it at HMP in 2022, it was 3,450. So 3,450 pounds without me in it, but full weight, full tank gas.
Yeah. I got skills at home. We can weigh your car tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in checking that out.
Yeah.
As far as why I named this podcast the Racing Home Podcast, honestly, it's because Fetz and I would often just kind of chat and call each other. We're both driving home. We're in our separate vehicles, towing our cars home, but we'd be on a phone call talking to each other about the event and just how it went. So then this last time we were driving home from Laguna, I thought it'd be kind of cool to turn this into a podcast. Who knows, anyone's listening to this? Maybe it's Ravi about his LS3 BRZ. But honestly, it's more to do with the fact that just kind of remembering this 10 years, 20 years from now. Because you're kept the entire year, so what events did you go to?
I went to Gingerman Rev Up. I went to Gingerman Festival at Gingerman. We went to Autobahn.
I was there for that one.
Mid-Ohio. And then went to Heartland.
Yep.
And went to Laguna.
So you did a total of 6 events in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most you've done in an entire year.
Yep.
So you've never done... Most of the time you do, 5?
4.
4
or 5.
Yeah. This time you did 6 of them.
Yeah.
Of those 6, which one was your favorite?
Laguna was a favorite.
Because?
Laguna was a favorite because, I've wanted to see T-Pain for the longest time. I've been trying to I was tagging T-Pain, Nappy Boy Automotive, and Gridlife in so many posts and having so many people
before Laguna. I had no idea what Nappy Boy. I had no idea about them. I knew about Nappy Boy from his music, but I didn't know Nappy Boy Automotive with Hurt was a thing.
Yeah, this is before Hurt was a part of it. I've been following Nappy Boy Automotive since before Hurt was a part of it, or I guess Hurt became a part of it afterwards. But yeah,
interesting.
So I've been following them for a while. I've been really wanted T-Pain to show up because I know he started off in Gridlife and he started drifting in Gridlife.
Yeah.
And how he was closely related to Gridlife. So I was I really would like to see him perform too, because it's a car guy, a car culture, and he's part of Gridlife and he's performing at Gridlife. It just I think it would be really cool, and I love his music. So.
Yeah, because he performed at Lime Rock, right?
He did not perform at Lime Rock. Lime Rock
No?
was not a performance. Like, there was no music there. It was a motorsports festival, not a music festival.
Wait, so Laguna was the first time to perform at a Gridlife event?
For T-Pain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
He was at Lime Rock. He was at Lime Rock drifting.
Oh, okay. Anyways. All right, well.
But yeah, so that was one of the reasons. Plus, I won Laguna.
Yeah.
So that was like my first win ever in my life. To the point, like, not just like motorsports related, but like
Yeah.
sports related, anything related. So I
Yeah.
like, literally was crying in my truck afterwards.
And Laguna was pretty cool because, like, it had the Corkscrew logo up on the hill.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that, like, Corkscrew W
Uh-huh.
in the name or in the word was
red.
bolded. So, like,
Yeah.
that was pretty fitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, the whole trip weekend, because, like, we had spent a whole week driving out to California prior to Laguna.
Yeah.
So we had driven out from, well, for me, from Austin. You drove from Dallas. We
Uh-huh.
met up in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. Saw the eclipse. Drove out to Flagstaff.
The eclipse
and
was
then,
meh, but yeah.
yeah, it was pretty meh unless you have the right glasses.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, like, even if you have the right glasses, it wasn't the eclipse to get excited for.
Yeah.
I think the one coming up in 2024 is going to be better because it's going to have more of the sun covered.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, kind of meh if you didn't have the right hardware. But we were in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the right timing of it.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the shadows at least. And then we went out to Flagstaff, Arizona. We camped at Sunset Crater. So we were basically, kind of felt like being on the moon, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then from there, we went to Zion via Glen Canyon. Glen Canyon was
We went to
pretty awesome.
Glen Canyon after Zion.
No, before. We went through Glen Canyon getting to Zion.
I thought we had Zion first and then went to Glen Canyon.
No. So after Zion, we
Oh,
went to Las Vegas.
because like it was later at night when
Yeah.
we left Zion. Okay, yeah.
So then Glen Canyon, got to Zion. The next day, spent the entire day, majority of the day, over at Zion. All sun hours were at Zion.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got to Las Vegas, saw the Vegas Strip getting prepared for F1. And then after that, we spent the night in Las Vegas. The following day, we did, 8 hours roughly out to San Jose?
Yeah.
Through California. Got to meet up with friends of ours in San Jose.
Yeah.
Spend a day in San Jose, and then the next 3 days at Laguna. Enjoy the festival weekend. And then race home to basically Texas.
Yeah, I would also like to add one of the reasons why Laguna was one of my favorites was because all the homies that were there, all the friend group that was there is the reason why like I got into motorsports in a way.
Yeah.
Right? Because like we used to go have the drivers club car meets that we all used to hang out at UTD, our college that we went to, and or most of us went to at least.
Yeah.
You know, and getting to do that and like going from like having those car meets at UTD and like the wee hours and like doing code rat shit afterwards, to like going to Laguna with all of you guys was like very nostalgic to me.
Nostalgic, mesmerizing. That's not even
just
the right
memories,
word, but
yeah.
like it's like things that we will dream about, talk about, joke about, play, and of course on Forza.
Yeah.
All coming to fruition and be like, holy shit, we're coming out here and actually like doing it.
Yeah.
And like, while not all of us were actually out on track, like we were all there. So like Kenny, Raza, Ravi, Carl, and then like Carl had several friends from the Pacific Northwest that meeting them for the first time, like Nick and Garrett. Yeah, they're friends for life. But also like David, like while we did see him at PPIR, it was like
actually getting to hang out with him.
Yeah, exactly. Actually able to hang out with him. So
yeah,
bunch of dudes, bunch of guys, bunch of friends that I personally look forward to like hanging out with in the future.
For sure. And then finding out that Robbie's having a baby too. You know, like that was the cherry on top.
Yeah, it was pretty funny how y'all found out about that. Because I knew about it for like a solid month prior to you guys.
I guess we're not true friends, man. I don't know.
You and I, or Robbie?
Me and Robbie.
Yeah. To be fair, I've known Robbie for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but in any case,
you guys went to high school together and whatnot too.
Yeah, it'd be very exciting to see him come out.
Sorry, Michelle. I mean,
this time next year will be a very different family scene, especially if he actually goes through with getting into Laguna.
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing too is like of all the Gridlife events, Laguna would be like the one where I'd be willing to fly out for just to spectate. There's so much to do as a spectator over there as well.
I agree. It was, yeah, I wouldn't mind like crewing and just spectating and hanging out. I would also not mind paying for another ticket and driving Ravi's car if he allows us to. I don't know if he would,
You should,
but if he does,
drop this in here.
Ravi, yeah, I'll just pay for track insurance and your car and another ticket, and like we can
To my knowledge, he has only let one person drive his car on track. Chris Mayfield.
He offered to let me drive his car.
True, he offers a lot though, so keep that in mind. But if he does, let me put it this way: if he has offered, then like hold him to his word.
Okay.
As long as he's like keep bringing it up until like the day it happens, he will make it happen.
I hope you're listening, Ravi.
He will. Yeah, we'll make sure he makes it happen.
Yeah. So to those that don't know and that are listening, I doubt anyone's listening, but
Probably just
Ravi has
probably just Ravi.
Probably just Ravi at this point. But yeah, Ravi has a LS3 swapped BRZ, and that he's putting a BMW DCT in, or he has already done that, but he's just tuning it now. He probably has more than 100K in his car at this point.
Ooh, that's a good question. I actually don't think he does.
You don't think so?
He's done a lot of it like relatively on a budget. He's got a lot of like expensive parts in there, yes. But some of those parts have come secondhand, or he's gotten those parts on a really good sale, or
I think total car. If anyone were to replicate his car today, it would probably be close to.
If you try to replicate his car in a 6-month time frame, then yes. But because he's been building his car for the past like arguably 6 years,
I don't think time matters. It's just how much money like parts are you buying.
That's what I'm saying though. He hasn't like put that much money because he's like taking his time.
All right, we're doing the math. Robbie, let us know. Let us know, but we're doing the math real quick. Let's say base price because he bought the car back in the day for $20K, right?
No, he bought it for 15.
Dang, did you really buy it for 15 back then?
Call it 18. Let's call it 18. It wasn't more than 20. It was definitely not more than 20.
Let's call it 15 because to make math easy. 15 for the car.
Yeah.
And then $10K for the motor, for crate motor.
Yeah.
$4,000 for the transmission, the initial one that he had. That he's still first, like apparently
the first of what, 4?
Yeah.
Roughly.
So his Tremec was $4,000. So what is that? 15 plus 10 is 25.
Plus
25 plus I'm just gonna call it 30
yeah.
for that. Wiring harness, he built it himself.
Yeah, he does a lot of the wiring.
Let's say $2,000.
That's
a lot. If he built it himself. 1,000.
Let's call it $2,000. Or 1,000. Okay. I agree with
1,000. 1,000. Let's do 1,000. What is that now? 31,000.
Yeah.
His arrow, I know Zebulon's not cheap. His wing is probably close to $4,000 or $5,000 alone.
Let's call it 35.
And then his splitter is also probably around the same because I think Zebulon splitters is around the same.
Fine, call it 40.
Yeah, so now you're $40,000.
All right, so now wheels and tires.
Cage is probably another $6,000 or $7,000.
So we're at 50 now, roughly.
We're at 50 now. Okay.
Yeah.
You add, including wheels and tires, you're at 50. His big brake kit is around another $4,000. $4,000 front, probably another $3,000 rear.
We still got another like $45,000 to go to get.
We're getting there. We're not done yet.
We're
getting there.
We're over half the car and just over halfway through.
What is that?
Budget.
So let's say 60K for with brakes and everything. Now we're just rounding up.
We were rounding up a lot.
No, we're not.
I think we are.
Okay, 55K.
What else you got to add?
Fair enough. 57K.
You done
Arrow, brakes, wheels, tires, motor, engine, transmission, cage.
Another what? $2,000 in or
wiring harness as well.
No, that's already been included. $3,000 in seats.
$3,000.
Well,
he has 2 seats, right?
I'm basing it off mine. Yeah, he has 2.
The OMPs aren't that expensive. They're 1,000 plus like the support. I guess 1,300. Let's call it $2,000 for seats, roughly to call it cheaper or whatever, because we're rounding up in other places.
All right, we've rounded all the way up to 70 now.
62K.
62. All right.
See, you jumped too much there. 62, 63K. And then from there, you got, what else?
See, you're still missing 38K.
I was chill, too.
Do you include the trailer?
No, we're not doing the trailer. What else? There's a lot of miscellaneous stuff that adds up, dude. I mean...
Yeah, but...
The GR86, yes, I could probably replicate my GR86 for, like, another, like, $15,000 worth of parts in it and go just as fast. But I have $50,000 in that car. Or, yeah, $55,000 in that car. That doesn't make sense either, right?
Yeah, but you've developed your car over the past year. He's developed his car over the past...
But the time doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because you're still spending money.
Yeah.
Whether you spend money in 2021 or 2022, it's still you're spending money.
People would argue with that.
Well, I guess because like inflation and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, coilovers. Forgot about his coilovers because coilovers are another $5,000.
Oh, here's the other thing too.
We're at 75K.
Here's the other thing. Like a lot of the stuff that he has had, he's like bought into it, used it, and then like sold it for a decent price.
Yeah. Like what?
His coilovers, for example. Like
his JRZs?
How much do those cost?
$4,000 or $5,000.
He had Olins, and I know he bought them and then sold them, and like.
I'm talking about replicating his car as is right now.
Oh.
Yes, he bought and sold and whatnot.
Okay,
he probably like made a little bit of money here and there.
I agree with you from the very beginning. I said like if you try to replicate his car in the next 6 months, you're gonna spend probably $100K. Yes, but that's not how much he's put into his car. Because he buys items at the proper time. Anyway, we spent so much time with Robbie.
This podcast is just now talk about Robbie podcast.
Anyways, Laguna was awesome.
Yeah, Laguna was awesome. Second favorite event was Mid-Ohio for me.
I need to go to Mid-Ohio.
Mid-Ohio, I love the track, and it just felt a little... I crashed at Mid-Ohio 2 years ago, roughly. Going back there and conquering...
2021.
Yep, and conquering that fear of like going through that turn again and like...
Which turn was it?
Turn 11 after Thunder Valley to the
I've
left-hander.
never been there, so is that the last corner before the front straight?
No, it's right. There's a carousel right before the back straight, the front straight. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's a left-hander to the front straight, but right before is a carousel.
Okay.
So I crashed in that carousel.
Okay.
Because I lost at the corner before, and I like kept trying to correct it or whatnot, and then lost it and it went to the wall. Is that Nacho?
No, don't do that. Sorry, we're talking in Zach's house, and he has cats.
It's okay. He's just stretching. Nacho, come here.
Well, I know, like they didn't want the cat stretching on top of the couch.
The cat was like using its nails and claws.
That's
to, like,
exactly it. They didn't want the nails to like pull the leather apart or mess up the
he wasn't digging his nails in there, dude. He was just stretching.
I'd saved him.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you know what? You're right.
Anyways, all right. So Mid-Ohio, last couple of corners, crashed in 2021, but this year it was different because.
It was just good to conquer that fear and just hang out. Like after the event, it was I think Eric Jensen and Jeremy Swenson were parked at RVs next to each other, and there's a whole party where they were. And it was Eric Jensen's wife's birthday at that weekend as well. Nice. So they was like it's like a whole party after the event.
Happy birthday.
They were so drunk, out of their mind. I've never seen Kyle that drunk.
Hair?
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen Kyle Hair drunk, and I moved my phone real quick just to double check that we're still recording.
Yeah.
And 18 minutes in. All right, anyway, so Kyle's drunk.
Kyle was gone. I have never hugged that man for that long in my life. I thought he knocked out on my shoulder. But it was fun. It was a good time. And that also like brought me back because I think in the beginning of the year I was just very stressing myself out to be the best contender, best driver out there, and I was over driving. But that event specifically, I like realized why I do it. Right, like I refound the reason of why I do this, and it was like fun for me again.
Why were you questioning in the first place? Wait,
I was.
Do we want to get into that? Well, We keep recapping. That could be like another episode, or like we can hash into like why we do this.
Yeah.
So that was Mid Ohio, and then after Mid Ohio, you went out to
Heartland.
Heartland, yeah, which is where I was at.
Yeah.
Actually, we totally skipped over Audubon.
Yeah. Do we want to start from the beginning of what I did then instead of going backwards?
Yeah, we actually haven't been going backwards. Actually, fuck it, let's just keep going backwards. We did Laguna.
We did Laguna, then we did Heartland.
Harlan. So Harlan was over in Kansas, and Harlan was a lot of fun. For me, that was a lot of fun because, like, I was able to go, like, for anybody that's in track and, like, just be able to, like, go and do a new PB. Like, that's pretty satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on it. It was just a lot of fun. The family came out. Kara came out. Her mother and aunt came out as well. So, overall, like, it was a successful weekend. I was able to take the aunt out in an HPD session and kind of... I don't know. She had fun.
That was really cool that you got to take her aunt out to the HPD session.
I took her aunt out before my own mother. Like, my own mother is, like, very hesitant to, like, even acknowledge I've been doing this.
Yeah.
But, like, recently in the past year, she's been simple, small things, like, just, like, liking posts and whatnot on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. But now she's actually, like, asking more questions about it. Like, oh, how was this weekend? Like, I'm surprised you asked, but let me go into it for the next, like, 30 minutes.
Yeah. I think that's also a whole other podcast, like minorities' parents. Yeah, I feel like as a minority, the parents don't really get involved as much in
absolutely
like extracurricular activities and whatnot. Yeah. So
at HMP, did you podium?
I did podium.
Nice. What place?
I got third.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Laguna podium, HMP podium, and then prior to that that's Mid Ohio.
That was Mid Ohio.
Then prior to Mid Ohio was Audubon for both of us.
Yes, Audubon.
Yeah.
Audubon was fun. I podiumed there too.
For me, it sucked.
What? Oh, because you couldn't. Yeah, your
my car like
overheating.
Overcooked everything. So like I was out on track, and like the thermostat not the thermostat, but like the ambient temperature in the car where you like read and it's like, oh hey, it's 97 degrees. I was like, yeah, it was 97 degrees while on track.
Yeah.
And so like my car literally couldn't do a hot lap. I would go out for the out lap and then like it start the hot lap, and by the third to last corner, so after the long straight, and then you make the sharp right, sharp left, and then right and left again down the front straight. Sure. Any case,
lots of lefts, lots of rights.
It was they were all there. The car would be overheating. So like my PB was me in limp mode for the last 4 corners.
Yeah. What do you drive again, Nick?
Oh. This is so weird in this podcast. Anyways, I drive a 2017 Ford Focus RS.
And you have no cooling mods on that, right?
At the time when I was driving, the only quote-unquote cooling mod that I'd done was DI water and water wetter in the coolant system.
Gotcha.
Flushing it out.
That'll
but
do
stock radiator, stock intercooler, stock everything powertrain-wise. The only thing that I had done...
You're tuned though.
Yeah, tuned by Brian with JSC Performance, which has been phenomenal, and that, honestly, I think buys me another half lap or a whole lap. But I'm tuned
Slight
on...
plug.
Huh?
Slight plug, but
E30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so running on his E30. If I run on 93, initially I ran on 93, that was relatively, like, full tilt. Then I would overheat, but I've since requested that I kind of, like, lower the power. It was, like, after an ECR. It was ECR, but it was, like, slightly overcooking it. To pull power back, just to, like, try to, like, do full laps. Anyways, it does a lot better. But since Audubon, I've done a Mountoon triple pass radiator on the Focus. So that has... Oh, and I've now done cooling vents on the hood vents with Ferris.
Did you not have those before?
I did have them at Audubon, but it did not solve the peaking problem. So, like, the temperature would still peak. What the hood vents did help with was that when I was doing the cool down lap, then I would see my temperatures drop quicker than without them. But they were not enough to go and, like, prevent the overheating in the first place.
Yeah.
So anyway, since Audubon, I've done the Mountain Radiator, and that has been the single best cooling performance upgrade on the Focus. On that, like, it's completely stock. Like, I'm still running, I don't know, like, it's stock. Like, I don't have an oil cooler. I'm not running E85. I've known several others Focus RSs that claim that, sure, like, doing oil coolers will help with oil and like separating from the coolant, but like that's a whole different story and like why that is occurring. For me to take the Focus RS side out and beat on it as hard as I am for as long as I am, what needs to happen is I think the radiator.
Yeah.
I don't think you need cooling vents or hood vents. I don't think that needs to be the case. Yeah, just get an upgrade radiator and run DI water.
Going back to recaps. Yes, Autobahn. I'm honestly getting tired of driving Autobahn and Gingerman. I think it's just like very flat track.
Didn't they already confirm that Gingerman's going to be in June?
Yeah, that's the festival. That's going to happen. We all know Gingerman's going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Gingerman, Autobahn, and Mid-Ohio are those three like core tracks that are never going to go away.
Yeah. CMP has been confirmed.
CMP has been confirmed. Lime Rock has been confirmed.
Gingerman's
definitely there.
Mid-Ohio technically has not been confirmed, but like it's been highly...
Chances are high.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of the OG Gridlife tracks. And everyone loves it there. So...
I would love to see more Texas track, or at least more tracks closer to home, but
yeah,
I know that's a difficult request being that we're from Texas and this is based out of the Midwest.
I mean, they're expanding to the east and the west now, so maybe south is next.
Well, what's nice about the West is that you get, if Laguna becomes more of a staple, at least like look at it as far as next year. If you're a competitor in the West, you could still attend your 4 required events. You could do Laguna, Willow Springs. If you're into GLTC, you can technically do COTA.
It's still a long ways.
It's still a long ways, but is halfway-ish for like most of their events. And then HMP. But HMP is probably not on the calendar for 2024.
Nobody knows.
We'll see in hopefully less than a month when PRI comes out.
Yeah.
But in any case, like myself, I'm looking forward to hopefully the 4 closest events.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I actually really want to do like a show about that. Just like looking at the calendar. Like once it gets posted, it's like talking about like, hey, what 4 do we want to go to?
Yeah, no, I would like to do that too. Just like go through it. And so that could be a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? But yeah, before Autobahn. Autobahn was a good event. It was really hot. It's always hot at Autobahn. Every year I've been there. It's like driving. It's like driving in Texas.
I think Autobahn's going to be later in the year this year.
How do you know?
From their podcast, the Slip Angle podcast, they were it would have been, according to Adam, would have been like 6 weeks prior to Laguna. Mm-hmm. So Laguna was the third week of September. So would that put it? That sounds like it would put it near Labor Day weekend. No, like this year, like when we went to Laguna. Had it been the same weekend, but 2024 when supposedly Autobahn is scheduled to be in 2024, we would have been at Autobahn 6 weeks prior to Laguna.
Isn't that Heartland though?
Exactly. No. I take it back.
2 weeks before Heartland.
Roughly, yeah. So if not Labor Day weekend, like the weekend after or 2 weeks after that. So
we got to figure out the whole schedule thing because I leave my car in Chicago, so I need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, likewise. I gotta get the wife on board with allowing me to do all these events.
Yeah.
But
I don't have a wife and I'm single as fuck.
Who knows? A year from now, it could be very different.
It could be. I could probably just have to stop doing events because I got married somehow to an arranged marriage from some lady in Tucson.
No, you should find someone that like enhances the driving experience.
Yeah, but you got to pay for the wedding, man. Wedding ain't cheap.
You don't have to have a wedding. I take that back. I need to go plan a wedding for my wife.
You don't have to have.
There's a whole separate story behind that.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting off track. Anyways,
bro.
Yeah.
This year was fun. Even though like I signed up for Mid-Ohio, didn't actually go to Mid-Ohio. Actually sold it to somebody else. I only went to Audubon, which was really just for me a waste. Not a waste, but like a learning experience. Like had I not gone to Audubon, I would have learned about my cooling problems somewhere else. Exactly. So because of that, did not get myself a legitimate time. My PB was literally under limp mode. But HMP was a lot of fun. I was able to go I had no regrets there, and then Laguna also no regrets.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is like I hope I have like my experience at HMP and Laguna. I want to have that, but 4 times next year.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, but Lagoon before Audubon was the festival event as well, the Gingerbread Festival event that I did. That was my first festival event in the festival format.
Because you went to that, do you think you did better at Laguna?
It took me a minute to getting to realize and how to attack a festival event and not get in my feelings, I guess. Both at Mid Ohio and Gingerman, I feel like I was like I got into podium sprint both times. I had the fastest time at Gingerman, I think, or second fastest time at Gingerman, right, out of the whole weekend. But I was in my head when podium sprint came on. I was like, okay, do or die, do or die, do or die. So I was like pushed way too hard, and the car drifted like a lot, right, and I lost by like 0.003 of a second.
Arguably within transponder
error, yeah.
Transponder error.
Could be, but like it is what it is. Same thing happened in Mid Ohio. I got in my head and I was like, do or die, do or die. This is it. This is what I gotta do. This is what I gotta do. Got in my head, and then like pushed way too hard, and I like again same thing, slid, and the car lost. I lost by 0.2 or two, not 0.2. Lost by 0.02 of a second. Right, so like. That helped me realize of like, okay, like I know I'm fast. I know I can make it a podium sprint consistently. Yeah. What I need to focus on the second day, qualifying 2 and 3, is where I need to be just consistent.
Yeah.
And I need to put down my fastest lap as my first, second, or third lap.
Yeah.
Right. That's after that. Like if I'm not getting it, I'm done pushing the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, like yes, I was aiming for 38s at Laguna, but the last 2 qualifyings, I was like, I'm okay with 39s as long as I'm in like the mid to low 39s.
You say that, but you got a 39.1 in your Q3.
Q1. It was
no,
Q2.
You told me that was your last
Q1
qualifying.
was on Thursday, right? No, Friday?
Q1 was Friday. Q2 and 3 were Saturday.
Q2, like that morning, I got 39.1.
What did you do in the third qualifying?
Third qualifying was like 39 something. The high there was like mid 39s. I don't remember. Okay. But yeah, my goal was 38s for sure. But I think I was like not as more focused on consistency and hitting my markers consistently and not pushing the car.
Yeah.
So that really paid me back in podium sprint, but like conditions are different. There's a Tesla that crashed that happened. So there's like what's it called? Not shrapnel, but like random like residue and whatnot all over the track.
Yeah.
By the corkscrew, right? So out lap, I was like really monitoring the condition, seeing how I was. And then after that, I pushed, and then I pushed again, did the same thing again. I got 39.6 won my first lap or something like that, and then 39.6 won 7 the second time. It was like that consistent.
That's pretty sweet.
That was like my goal for podium sprint, and I think that's what got me the P1.
Worked out. What was your lap time in the very first session? Like Friday, practice 1.
39.8, 39.7.
You already broke in the 40s? Sub 40?
I broke into sub 40s immediately.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I had been out there back in 2019 when the Focus was completely stock. The only thing I had were RS4 tires on stock wheels, and I did 46.7. And I was excited about that. So, like, my goal this weekend, or Laguna weekend, was just to do 2 seconds faster. Yeah. So, for my first time out there, it was 40 in the 41s. Yeah, it was like 41, maybe 40. No, 41. I think it was 41s. I think Carl and I both did 41s.
Yes.
We were both, every session, we would, like, kind of, like, gain or improved at the same rate until he got clean air in qualifying 2. And he jumped from a 39 something to like 37, 37.5.
I was a madman.
Yeah.
Yep. One thing about me is that's different from a lot of other people about like tracking or doing time attack. I come in hot. So when I
hold on, there's a cat on the bar.
Okay, cat's on the bar.
Kitty, get off.
Do I stop it or do I?
You can leave it be. Kitty, go.
Yeah.
All right.
The cat was drinking alcohol. Or trying to, at least.
I don't know what great cat it was, but yeah, there was a cat up on the bar table.
I wonder if it was Thor. Anyways. But yeah, what's different about me compared to other competitors, like, I come in very strong and very hot. So, like, my first session is, like, super fast already. Not super fast, but, like, it's up there, right? I'm, like, usually, like, P1 in first 2-3 sessions.
Yeah.
And then, like, my progression is slower from there. While a lot of people are, like, okay, they'll be, like, 3 or 4 seconds slower, and then they kind of work up to pace.
Yeah.
I'm already at my, like, close to my what I'm supposed to be at.
You're like 80% of what you can do.
80 to 90%, yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. I'm mostly there. Well, I take that back. I think I used to think I would always be there, but that's because more of the car overheating limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did my first 39, it was in the 5th lap, which is very abnormal. But that kind of goes to show, like, the cooling improvements I did, meaning that, like, the car was not holding me back and I could just, like, learn the track. Or the tires were just getting into their temperature range better. Not sure which one. But then the last qualifying where I did my actual PB, that one I did in the first, pretty sure I did in the first 2nd lap, or first 3 laps. But, in any case, yeah, overall, pretty good year. A lot of learning, and excited to see what next year's schedule and next year's rule changes are going to be. God, I hope they don't rule out E85. If they rule out E85 in street class, I'm going to be very salty. I would have wasted $3,000.
Honestly, I doubt it.
If it's something you can buy at the fuel pump, like any normal fuel pump.
It's a lot on Club TR, so it's going to be a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another big moment in this year was I broke the sub 40 mark at Gingerman, which is like the all.
Wait, is this a thing at Gingerman as well?
Yeah, sub 40 is like everyone wants to go below sub 40.
Dang, I need to go back to Gingerman now.
Yeah, that's
now that I broke like sub 40 at Laguna, it just has that like that
now
desire
that I
to
think
go,
about it,
go
the
and
lap
do it.
times are very similar to Gingerman.
Wait. Yes, because I did so initially said I did a 46.7 at Laguna.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure when I did Gingerman in 2021, when I did it as an HPD session, granted it's off the phone, so like plus or minus half a second either direction, but I'm pretty sure I did a 46 something. I think I did somewhere in the 46s.
I did a 39 flat at Gingerman, did a 39.1 at Laguna. Even looking at Sunday Cup times too, like Sunday Cup times were like in the low 150s at Laguna, and it's also like 149, 150 at Gingerman.
You may have just convinced me to go to Gingerman just to try to break in those sub 40s. Like if it's something
the times are, because I remember on Facebook Kyle was saying like the time should be similar to Mid Ohio, but I'm like no, Gingerman.
Interesting. Do you think it's easier to extract time at Gingerman than at Laguna?
No, it's easier to get more time at Laguna.
Let me put it another way. Do you think the time delta, the first time you go at Laguna first time you go at Gingerman, which track is easier to like get right the first time?
It's kind of unfair to say that because Laguna, we've been playing on video games for a very long time. So
true, but I don't think video games like kind of give you the sense of elevation change, or that.
But you know exactly what the brake markers are. You know exactly what you should be doing.
Actually, brake markers, sure, but the apex camber benefits that like.
Assetto's really good at it though.
That's true, but like I think in person,
it
clicked with me so much more. Like being mid-course, especially like turn 6, going up the back hill. Like if you actually would like dig your car in there and like take advantage of the corner, like just.
Is turn 6 the one going uphill or the
yes,
one?
uphill.
Okay.
Turn 5, so.
Turn
3,
2,
3, 4, 5 left, and then 6.
Oh, 6 is like the left. Okay.
Left uphill. It's like I think 6, where if you go and get your car potentially in a risky situation, But if you put it right and like take advantage of the camber at the apex, you can gain
quite a bit of time.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my favorite corner at
Yeah.
Laguna. That's one of my favorite corners at Laguna because like there's so much grip there, but you have to have a
There's
lot
so
of
much grip
balls.
there because of the camber.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's not what it's for. I'm saying it's so much grip there, but to take advantage of that grip, you have to be like super ballsy.
Yeah, I
and
think
that's
turn
rewarding.
6 is the high, kind of like HMP's turn, not turn alpha, turn 1.
Yeah.
Turn 1 technically, turn 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where turn 1, 2 at HMP is very high risk, high reward. I think turn 6 at Laguna, it's the most high risk, high reward. But that's just my opinion.
That's my favorite corner there.
It's a lot of fun, and like you feel the reward of getting it right.
That's my favorite corner in
You
the
get punished.
sim too, for the same reasons. The sim, if I loop it, I don't care.
Did I tell you I went 4 off there at turn 6?
Yeah, I saw your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't even like me pushing. It was just me like not paying attention on a cooldown lap. Embarrassing. All right. Should we make sure? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty solid. This is 17 minutes in to the second part of the podcast.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely. I would want to go drive at Laguna again,
next year,
but I also want to do Lime Rock.
I'd say I would totally be down. It's gonna take a lot of convincing for the wife.
I'm not doing both.
No, I would totally be down to do Laguna 2025.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
If it's on the calendar to do it 2025.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad we already did it, so, like, there's no fear of missing it out next year. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm down to fly out and, like, help anybody crew.
Yeah.
But I'm not...
And also, I want to, like, put nails or something there so nobody can take my record.
Shouldn't have said it here. All right, just delete this part.
You didn't hear that. What? I'm not doing shit. What do you mean? Drop loose slug nuts.
If anybody else in the Focus RS wants to go out there or Focus SC, let me know. Because...
If
That would
anyone
be the
wants to
chassis.
lend me their GR86 to go out there again, let me know.
Yep. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up here. We got to get to
But
bed.
yeah, so recap. Had a great year. It was a good one with some good friends. Lots of podiums. And lots of learning.
Yep.
And lots of memories. So
Yep.
can't wait for next year.
Likewise, so... We'll see how the audio turns out on this podcast. Literally just recorded off my phone. So if it's shit, that explains it. If it's not, impressive. We will continue on until the next one. I really want to do the next one, kind of looking into the schedule for 2024.
Yeah.
So there's so much to talk about 2023 alone, though. So
Yeah.
I'm down to do this later. Anyways, talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Consider this memorabilia for Zach and his 32nd birthday.